some surprising discoveries I've made on the next episode of Recovered.
You loved her as Sammy on Days of Our Lives and as the host of The Biggest Loser, but in real life, actress Alison Sweeney is obsessed with listening to true crime podcasts. Now she's turned that love into an original movie series. Alison is the co-creator, executive producer, and star of The Chronicle Mysteries, premiering this weekend on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. We are so glad to have you here in Nashville. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled.
I'm fascinated by this. You are just obsessed by these true crime podcasts.
Well, I mean, it started off sort of very organically. You know, I listened to Serial like so many other people, and I completely binged the whole thing. I did make dinner for my kids that night, but honestly, I'm pretty sure I just didn't talk to anybody for about 8 hours. And from there, I was just in the rabbit hole. I listened to other podcasts about Serial, and then other cases just caught my eye. And then I started, you know, it's a problem when you're DVRing Forensic Files and 2020 on OWN, and like I could watch it all. And then at one point, my husband finally said, "What are you doing? You're obsessed with these shows." And I said, "Oh, it's research. I have a new idea I'm working on." And then I had to think of an idea to like justify it. So my character is a podcaster, a true crime podcaster. Her name is Alex, and she has a real life case, a girl she knew that went missing as a young woman. And so I thought that was a real way to get her into the world of podcasting, because the case is personal to her. And from there, you know, she's going to find herself in some danger and some other cold cases along the way. So it was really fun to take my personal obsession and make what I hope is an interesting series out of it.
Oh, I bet it will be. I bet a lot of folks don't know that you do so many Hallmark movies. I mean, you produce, you do all kinds of things.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been amazing. I love working with Hallmark. They're a great company to work for. I feel like part of the family there, and they really support women like me who sort of just can't get enough of this industry. You know, I love telling stories, really. So I love acting in them. I love producing them and developing content. So
yeah. So premiering this weekend is the first episode, and then you've got subsequent weekends where a new one comes out.
Sunday night, February 17th, in Central Time. It'll be at 8 p.m.
Yep.
And it'll be 3 Sundays in a row of new original movies. And then I'm hard at work developing more for next year.
Nice. And I guess there's an unlimited supply of true crime stories, so this series could go on forever, right?
Unfortunately, there are nothing but stories out there of these horrible things that happen in real life. And they do create lots of inspiration for how I can take those stories. And I don't know, from my point of view and Hallmark's, it's sort of nice to, unlike the real life cold case files where you just sit there not knowing how it turns out. In my stories, we do find an ending for all of them.
What is it about podcasts that just make us get so obsessed?
Yeah, they capture the imagination. I think there's something about listening to it. I mean, ultimately, storytelling is the original TV, right? Like that was a terrible expression, but like listening to stories is how our history first developed, right? People would pass along stories down generations, and I think that it's something that you can hear the story, but you still get to imagine it, like reading. You're creating, you're filling in the blanks in your imagination, and there's something about that still is really compelling. And in a time where I do a lot of commuting, I'm driving all the time, so I do find myself driving along, and I look at my car speaker like, no, don't go in there, don't go upstairs, you know. But it's fascinating, and I think that also paired with it's also about our justice system and how these crimes are solved or not solved, how they're handled in the courts, and so there's a lot of different aspects to it that are really compelling, and you know, you just find yourself baffled all the time at how these things really unfold.
Yeah. I find it fascinating too. I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited.
So glad you got to be with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Stopping by. I think you're going to love the movie too. You can catch the premiere of The Chronicle Mysteries. The first one's called Recovered. It's this Sunday night at 8 o'clock on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.